Thank you very much. This is a very important question. Reforms do yield results, but it takes time for it to yield results. You cannot expect, the reforms we put in place, even if you take like the public finance management, that is a means of reforming the whole economy. But it's not in one day. We continue meeting to come out, to iron out issues that are available so that can be reformed. The reform takes time, but it's yielding results because we notice that the reforms even we put in the bank, like closing all the government accounts denominated in USD, this was done. There are issues now, we are opening some of the accounts because these are for collecting PIT money, but we say this one will only collect but no withdrawal. Whenever you collect the PIT, you give it to central bank and we give you the SSP equivalent. These are the reforms that we are undertaking. There are other reforms that we are also doing in reforming like the financial sector. Some of the banks are not properly capitalized. They do not have enough capital to enable them or perform their duty of of taking money from here and lending to here. Some banks don't do that. We are working with WFP, with World Bank, to ensure that we put these reforms in place so that the banks play their role of intermediation. These are the reforms that are going on. Second question was about the dollar going up. I think if you read in my press release, you will notice that if you have been to the neighboring countries, you will also see the problem going there. Take for example Kenya. The dollar is almost 145 shillings to a dollar. This is not something but there's no dollar even in the market. So the whole issue of dollar going up is due to so many factors. The first is America also is trying to mitigate the inflation that they have there. What did they do? They used to have an interest rate of 0.0%, now it's 4.5%. And that one has an effect on all the countries dealing in dollars. The collapse of some banks in the US sent panic to all the financial financial sectors worldwide. So the dollar, this is from the American part. And then you take the war of Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine is a country that was feeding the whole world. Ukraine and Russia was feeding with wheat especially. All the countries are suffering because of the war. This in itself also, the price of dollar, and some of them now are not using dollars to sell the wheat. That's why the dollar is going. The price of commodities that are imported, and we are a landlocked country, we import everything from outside. So any increase outside, they affect us also here. And we use dollars to import things. That's the reason why, these are the major reasons why the dollar is going up. We don't produce, our main export is oil. But whatever we get in oil, we also use it to buy things from outside. The price is outside. Even the fuel we buy from outside. Before it used to be bought 0 point something a barrel, but now it's 1 point something. A liter, sorry, from outside, we're importing refined fuel. So this is the reason why the dollar is going up. It's worldwide, it's not here only. It's not only limited to South Sudan. I just came from Ethiopia. I used to know that the exchange rate in Ethiopia is strict and all this, but now the black market and the parallel market and the bank rate are totally different, double. You change $100, in the black market is 10,000 birr, in the bank is 5,000. And people are also saying they are facing the same thing. Question number two was from, you're called Bidal or Bida? Bida. Huh? There was, because of the increase in the oil production and, the GDP growth is estimated to be 3%. Some, like the African Development Bank is anticipating 4% for South Sudan, which is really better compared to other countries. This is because you take the increase in the oil prices. And also there are possibilities of increasing the production of oil. So this all, work towards increasing the GDP, targeting that GDP there. The speculation, we know speculation, most of our market is actually speculative. I think you go outside here, somebody can determine tomorrow the rate is going to be so. But also, we have to be careful in dealing with this kind of people. I know they are speculators. So what we need to do is to put some measures in place to ensure that we target them. Now, we know that the government is paying salaries on time. We have to ensure that we have that equivalent to ensure that we bring that money back. And people are holding money. If you go to the street, you see people holding brand new as if they are just producing money from there. But this is the results of the domestic borrowing that happened before, and then now the salary continued payment of salaries on time. And this money finds its way in the market. But what we are doing is that for us to target that money, we are going to auction money. But in auction, you have to come with your money. Don't tell me go to my account and withdraw. Bring the money that you have and you take the dollars. This is one of the measures we are putting, and we expect that with that we will be able to mop out a lot of money from the market, because what we are doing now is just a book value. The bank applies and just say debit my account. The money is there in the account, and with debit it doesn't have any impact. So this is now what we are trying to do, that you have your pounds, bring it, we give you the dollars, but you have to go through a bank or through the forex. And one of the reasons why we are lifting we are allowing now banks to deposit at any time is that, because we expect that money will be coming a lot. And before we used to give them that every commercial bank has a day to deposit, but now we allow them to deposit at any time. This is in anticipation that the money that will come in, as a result of this kind of auction, will allow the banks to bring the money, banks or forexes. We are also encouraging commercial banks to approach people with money. Term deposit, when we increase the central bank rate from 12 to 13, commercial banks are going to come asking for term deposit of maybe 10 billion, 5 billion, 3 billion. They will get interest or agreed rate between up to about 15% that we have raised. But now, they are the one benefiting. We also want them to use the money of their clients. Let their clients benefit. Let their clients apply that we want term deposit from central bank, not only commercial bank. Besides, they are using the money of clients to come and use that, because they are getting profit on the people's money. So we want also them to encourage them to get money from their clients, so that the clients, like in any other country, when you want to apply for treasury, for the government bonds, for example, you go to your commercial bank, you say, I have money, I want to invest in this bond market. And they will do it for you. But now what is happening here with regards to term deposit is that commercial banks apply on their own. They don't want to share the profit with anybody. And we're also telling them that since you're investing in this, we want to ensure that you also pay interest on savings accounts that's there. And we're going to take that with commercial banks. Joe from Al Jazeera asked for average inflation. Inflation in South, we rely on statistics from the National Bureau of Statistics. But as of January, inflation was reported to be about 14%. So February, that's as of February. So we have not gotten any new report yet of that, which is not bad. It used to be like, 100 something, but now it's coming down. At some point, it was even 8% as required by the East African community for the convergence criteria, that each country should maintain an inflation rate of 8 plus or minus 8%. How much reserve is available? You will read in this document that on the implementation of us working with the Ministry of Finance together, any money that comes from non-oil revenue in USD, we convert it immediately and give it to Ministry of Finance in pounds. Any oil money that comes, we convert it into SSP and give the money to finance. Only items that need to be imported from outside, like machinery for roads and all this, these are the ones that we use dollars to bring them. But the agreement, the meaning of the Treasury single account is that the government has one account and it's going to be in SSP only. Any dollar that comes into the country has to be converted and the money is put there. And then Ministry of Finance will now know how to divide it according to the matrix they have. So this is what we are having. And there is already an increase in the non-oil revenue collection, especially in USD, both in USD and SSP. And if you hear the NRA saying that we are going to collect in much of this amount, they talk of it in SSP. But the dollars we converted, and that is the total amount because they use the rate that's available there to convert the amount and give it to. So that is, we have really started collecting enough reserve because of all this. Like, when the oil money comes, there is a matrix that is divided. Oil producing areas also get a percentage. All those percentages now, according to the states, we give them in SSP, we don't give them in dollars. So that in itself is already we are building reserve. Plus now the food shock window that came has really boosted our economy. But say the global trend is the one really affecting what is going on in the market. You ask whether there are still some government institutions using dollars. In what sense? For us, what we did was that we issued a circular closing all the government accounts in dollars, and we did that. Now, and we said South Sudanese pound is the national currency. Any contract signed should also be done in SSP like any other country. But of course, when you now want to bring equipment from outside, it's now when you come to the bank and I request that I want this to be done, not everything, because now we are trying to encourage. Otherwise, there will be no need for us to print SSP if we are going to use dollars in the economy. That's why we have closed all the government accounts and tell them that any dealing, even if you see the budget, the government is reading the budget, it's all in SSP, there's nothing in dollars. So we're just following the same trend that no government institution should use dollars, only those which are, for example, their projects funded by international communities. And they want their accounts, although it's under a specific ministry, but it should be in dollars. This is for accountability purposes, and we are doing that. So those accounts are the ones which are exempted, that are funded by donors, but not any other account that any minister or any state is using. All those have been converted now into SSP. So we have closed all the accounts. Those who do not have SSP account, we have opened for them SSP account. The issue of 18% charge by commercial bank. I saw the circular issued by NRA, but I was surprised because we have not been consulted on that. But we want to understand what is the meaning of this and what impact will it have on the banking sector. So this one I can't really answer it now because the discussions are ongoing to see. We also have our people doing research and seeing the impact, what the kind of impact it will have on the banking sector, because the banks, they don't care, they can charge, but also you and me, they are going to put that 18% on us. So we have to understand and see. If it is a genuine case, yeah, of course, the government, we all want to pay taxes. So we all want services, but the services do not come if we don't also contribute. This one we are currently discussing, both with the NRA and the Ministry of Finance, to come to reach a conclusion on this. So with these few remarks, I think you will share the press release, and I hope you report everything as it is written. Thank you very much.